Hey, I'm really excited. The Uncontrolling Love book is now out and available on Amazon. This is an excellent book that some editors have been working on for more than a year. It's got like more than 80 essays from people exploring this idea of uncontrolling love. By the way, I'm Thomas J. Ord, and I'm a theologian. And what's really a major honor to me is that the ideas in my previous book, The Uncontrolling Love of God, were the spark for the essays in this book, Uncontrolling Love. Actually, the whole title is Uncontrolling Love, Essays Exploring the Love of God with Introductions by Thomas J. Ord. Now, these essays are about 1,000 to 2,000 words. They're written in really accessible language. And what's really cool to me is that the authors come from a wide variety of backgrounds and perspectives. There are essays written by pastors, artists, activists, a bunch of professional theologians, students, scientists. I mean, I could go on and on about the kind of people who are writing this book, and they're doing it exploring not just sort of the basic idea that God's love is uncontrolling, but looking at how that might be applied to everyday life, to particular questions in, let's say, science, or how to be an artist, or issues of the Bible. I mean, again, the topics are so diverse that I feel weird kind of talking about some, because I know I'm missing talking about a whole bunch of other topics. Let me read you some really brief excerpts from the incredible recommendations that are, or endorsements that are on the back cover. So this first one from John Cobb, who's a professor emeritus at Claremont School of Theology. John writes, Jesus proclaimed God as a loving parent, excuse me, and this basic approach dominates in the New Testament. But many people revere controlling power more than love. Thomas J. Ord has reclaimed the good news of the uncontrolling love of God. He writes, this book embodies the response of the church, lay people, and pastors, students, and teachers, both liberals and conservatives. Readers can join excuse me, in this work of theology by witnessing to what a loving God is doing in the world. Again, that's an endorsement from John Cobb. Or this one from Karen Winslow, who is the chair of the Department of Biblical Studies at Azusa Pacific University. Karen writes, this book is amazing. Each essay contains precisely worded insights and thoughtful, practical responses to Ord's book, The Uncontrolling Love of God. The essayists give their own reasons for recognizing or claiming and articulating what Ord calls essential kenosis theology. She says, in an array of accessible vignettes, these essays illustrate Ord's relational thesis, which is that God's love is necessarily self-giving and others empowering. Of course, I'm just super honored not only by these endorsements, but by all the people who have contributed to this book, Uncontrolling Love, which is now available, like I said earlier, on Amazon. And it's not only available in the print version, but we've made it also available as in Kindle. And this is a big honking book. What do we got? Almost 400 pages. We're looking at the 390s when you get to the back. And I think it's available for like $25 on Amazon, which is a pretty good price for a 400-page book. And I believe the Kindle is $10. You can check to be sure. I think I put a link on this Facebook Live video. So please go and check it out. The editors are an august group of folks. Let me mention them. Chris Baker, Gloria Coffin, Craig Drury, Graydon Kirksey, Lisa Michaels, and Donna Ward. They have put a ton of time into not only editing these essays, but the whole project from when it was first birthed as a website with essays posted there, and then bringing them all into this collection. Other folks have been helping, like Jeff Skinner, Cameron Cowan, Steve, and Steve Carroll, and well, I'm forgetting someone. Bummer. I'm sorry if I've forgotten you, and you're part of the project team. Anyhow, I really want to recommend this book. Now, people have asked me, Tom, is this book controversial? They've said, Tom, you're known for writing controversial books with controversial ideas. How's this one? Is this one of those controversial books again? And it's kind of weird. It's hard for me to know whether or not this is controversial. First of all, I'm only writing introductions to 3 sections. So there's 3 introductions that are maybe, 1,500 words a piece. So the vast majority of the book is not my writing. It's the writing of these 80-plus essayists. But whether or not it's controversial probably depends an awful lot on what you think about the main idea. And the main idea that supports the essays, that out of which these essayists write, is that God's love is inherently or necessarily uncontrolling. That is, that God doesn't manipulate, God doesn't control us. We have free will, the world has agency, and God's love is not the kind of interruptionist, interventionist, controlling, kind of overpowering way that many Christians have thought God acts. So if you think that idea is really controversial, then I guess you'll probably think this book is controversial. But if you think, that's kind of what I've always kind of thought about God, that God's love is powerful but not overpowering, that God is almighty, but God's love is not the kind of love that controls others. Well, this is the kind of book that you will love. The essays are short. You could read, an essay a day. It'd probably take you 10 minutes to read one of the essays, and you could just kind of move right through this book. And again, the topics are all over the board. Some of my favorites are actually the personal stories people share as they incorporate this way of thinking, that God's love is uncontrolling, into how they think about their lives and how they live day to day. So anyway, today, the book is available. Go to Amazon, get yourself a print copy or an e-copy, and share the good news. The Uncontrolling Love book is now for sale, and I think you will really, really enjoy this. Again, I'm Thomas J. Ord, and I'm hoping that you consider getting a copy of this book today or sometime soon. Thanks.